ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति। Question. What is Pratipaksha Bhavana in relation to craving? Yes. Yeah. Second question, we'll take it up after I finish this one. So, what is Pratipaksha Bhavana in relation to craving?
Yes.
Who's operating the class? Who's handling the class? I'm in a very bad mood now, Anshu. What is Pratipaksha Bhavana in relation to craving? Pratipaksha Bhavana means looking at it from a different angle. What is Pratipaksha Bhavana? Looking at it from a different angle means you are so used to seeing it from one angle, and that one angle alone seems to be right. You refuse to see there are other angles to the same situation. So Pratipaksha Bhavana means what? A recognition that there are other angles to every situation that you encounter. This is called Pratipaksha Bhavana. What is craving? Excessive demand is craving. That's called craving. That excessive demand itself, if you have to stop craving, the excessive demand has to be reduced or eradicated. The question is, what if you do that exaggerated excessive demand of yours gets reduced? Pratipaksha Bhavana is the technique. So craving means an excessive demand. What to do to reduce the Pratipaksha Bhavana teaches you where you see joy, there is pain. Again, I repeat. Pratipaksha Bhavana means where you see joy, there is pain. Where there is pleasure, there is pain. Because of the excessive demand, the pain element you become blind to. Are you okay till now? Because of the excessive demand, you are the human mind becomes blind to the pain element. But very soon, the pain element you will get exposed to. Very soon, the pain element gets exposed. Now, when the pain element gets exposed, there will be a, when the pain element gets exposed, will you be able to accept it, or you will feel dejected, depressed? You follow the question? When you are exposed to the pain, will you feel dejected, depressed, or will you be able to accept it? You will not be able to, you will not be able to accept it. You will feel dejected only. You will feel depressed only. Why? Because you never had a Pratipaksha Bhavana. If you have had a Pratipaksha Bhavana, acceptance becomes natural, because Pratipaksha Bhavana exposes the package. Again, I repeat. Pratipaksha Bhavana exposes the package. Having bought that package, you know it is part of it. So how does Pratipaksha Bhavana remove the craving? Pratipaksha Bhavana exposes the package. By exposing the package, it prepares you for it prepares you for the inevitable part of the package. Again, I repeat, Pratipaksha Bhavana prepares you for the inevitable part of the package. What is the inevitable part of the package? The pain element. The pain element is an inevitable part of the package. You follow? Death is the inevitable package of the part called. Death is an inevitable part of the package called life. Birth, the moment there is life, birth has already happened. Then only there is life. Then birth has happened. What is the inevitable package along with birth? Death. So Pratipaksha Bhavana is an awareness of what the package is made up of. Are you okay till now? Huh? If you excessively focus on that death part, you will be called as pessimist. Anyway, I'm going to die. Anyway, I'm going to die. Anyway, I'm going to die. Na, you will be called as a pessimist. If you refuse to even acknowledge that it exists, you are very positive person, sir. I'm a very positive minded person, because I don't even see these things in life. No, Vedanta comes. What is Pratipaksha Bhavana says? You crave for anything only because you have not understood the package. If you have understood the package fully, you cannot crave. You understand the difference? You may use it, but you will not be craving for it. What is the difference between using and craving? Craving, adu illanna I am not there. If it is not there, I am not there. If it is not there, I will not do anything. Adhan craving. Again, I repeat. Somebody was telling me this afternoon. I really want to do lot of charity, sir, but I don't have anything at all. Therefore, till I have something, I cannot do charity. Then I turned back and asked, is it true that you don't have anything? It is true that you don't have a bank balance. That is true. Correct? It is true that you don't have a bank balance. But still you can do so many other things, no? Are you able to follow? Pratipaksha Bhavana will make you to understand it like this. Otherwise, you will be so restricted. What? Oh, I am not having it, therefore I will not I will not. I said, okay, so what if you don't have money? You can still be charitable in words. You can still be charitable in words, no. You can still be charitable in prayers, no. Are you able to follow? Pratipaksha bhavana will help you to see it like this. Otherwise, a excessive craving means stubbornness. Again, I repeat. Excessive craving, na, it is stubborn. Stubbornness means if it is there, I will do. If it is not there, difference purida. If it is not there, I will not do it. That is a consequence of excessive craving is what? அது புரிஞ்சாலே பிரதிபக்ஷ பாவனா becomes easy. Are you able to follow? The consequence of excessive craving is what? The consequence of excessive craving is stubbornness. This connection people don't get at all. And they go on craving, assuming that it is so. Assuming that it is so beneficial, it is so natural. But what it will result in is a stubbornness. You follow? Now, what to do to get out of that stubbornness? It means I have to get out of the craving. In order to get out of the craving, I need to understand the package. In order to understand the package, Pratipaksha Bhavana is needed. This is the sequence. Are you okay till now, Pa? Are you okay till now?
Yes, I'm following you.
Now the actual technique of Pratipaksha Bhavana. Take up any craving. Take up the most easy one to take and understand this. Food, okay. Okay. Now, food. Sweet, Oh, you're troubling for sweets. Is it? Craving, excessive craving. Take sweets. Excessive craving. Food. Excessive craving for food means what? It is not excessive craving for food. It is excessive craving over a particular type alone which I like, and that should be provided to me all the time. Are you able to follow? Again, I repeat. Excessive craving, not craving, it's not craving towards food. Because any food is given, I will not take. Isn't it? So craving for food, now what does it mean? A demand, a unreasonable demand for a particular type of food that should be available all the time. So anything that changes, anything that goes wrong, I get. The mind gets highly disturbed. You follow? Therefore, what is Pratipaksha Bhavana? Be wise enough not to get stuck to one thing. That's all. Yeah, be wise enough. Yeah. Konjam Chinese, konjam Thai. Yeah. Some Chinese soup, some Thai curry. I don't know. What all, so that you are not excessively craving to one. Otherwise, Resaji thinks I'm excessively craving for Indian food. So as soon from next Tuesday, the torture is going to start for me. It's a voluntary torture. I don't know why I go get tortured and come back. Voluntary torture it is. As soon as I see him in the airport, the first thing I tell him, no Indian restaurants at all. Because you go there, they'll give you a dosa. They call it as dosa. It's not. It's not dosa. They say it is vada and it has got nothing to do with easy to fast. Yeah, then the torture of fasting is better than the torture of eating that. Otherwise, what happens is, supposing if it is a craving, wherever I go, that will be the only thing that will be occupying the head. Are you able to understand what is excessive craving means? Other than that, nothing occupies the head. As though that is the most important thing of, for somebody it can be food, for somebody it can be wealth, but everybody has some craving. Are you able to follow? So what is Pratipaksha Bhavana? Pratipaksha Bhavana is an understanding that wherever you are not adaptable, flexible, you understand that you have developed a stubbornness, a craving, a stubbornness. You follow? Pratipaksha Bhavana is that which is liberating. Liberating from what? Liberating from that stubbornness. Even now, just now I was talking, that's why I got a few minutes delayed. Yeah. Just now I was saying, no. You take medication, there is a side effect. You eat burger and pizza, there is a side effect. Of the two, which is more dangerous side effect? You know that? There are side effects. இதுக்கும் ஒரு side effect இருக்கு, மெடிசனுக்கும் ஒரு side effect. Everybody is worried about the side effects of medication. Oh, இது சாப்பிட்டா அது I said, you can easily get rid of the side effects of the medication, but you cannot get rid of the. So Pratipaksha Bhavana teaches you what is it that is the actual problem. Are you able to follow the difference? So the person is saying, medicine can be, I'm afraid of taking medicines because side effects it has. Okay. The amount of salt and sugar that we take through all the foods every day, why nobody is scared? Why nobody is scared? ஒரு டோஸ்ட் எடுத்தாக்கா 3 நாளைக்கு தேவையான சுகர் அண்ட் சால்ட் அதுல ஒரு டோஸ்ட்ல இருக்குன்னா அடுத்த 3 days you should avoid. Who's worried about? So Pratipaksha Bhavana should is in the areas of my craving, I just cannot focus on it. Are you able to follow? Therefore, what does Pratipaksha Bhavana means? Pratipaksha Bhavana means the capacity to understand the package. All of us will have to go through some packages in our life. We cannot avoid graveyard la dhaan package கிடையாது. As long as we are alive, we will be faced with situations and people around, and every situation and every person that we meet around comes as a package, and I should be able to accept it. The acceptance எங்கேருந்து வரும்? பிரதிபக்ஷ பாவனாலேருந்து வரும். Acceptance comes through Pratipaksha Bhavana. That's why in Vedantic study, Pratipaksha Bhavana is always spoken as a very important technique to reduce the excessive demand, that excessive craving, which will lead to stubbornness. You follow? Is it okay till now? Huh.
So you say that you should be aware of the consequences.
Aware of the
Package,
package. Aware
package
of
means
the package.
these consequences.
No, aware of the package is different. Consequences is different. If I'm not even aware of the package, I can't be aware of the consequences. So it is not by becoming aware of the consequences I can know the package, because consequences is something in relation to the future. I can never know that. Package is in relation to the present.
Present.
That's why don't mix it up both. Package is in relation to the present. Consequences is always in relation to the future. So Pratipaksha Bhavana is not in relation to the consequences. Pratipaksha Bhavana is in relation to the package. The inability to accept the package is the problem. So Pratipaksha Bhavana is Pratipaksha Bhavana is removing that specific. Having known the package, I can make a choice. Having known what the package is, I can make a choice. I cannot make the choice and then choose to see that I want to see in a package. That's how we all operate. First, the decision is made. Based on the decision, I will go and see that which supports my decision. So Pratipaksha Bhavana means what? Somebody has to come and expose the other sides which you are not, which you have turned blind to. And obviously, when anybody comes and exposes the side that which you have turned blind to, obviously you will not like it. Why? Because your comfort is not knowing that. Your comfort comes from you don't want to know that. All unnecessary information, sir. I don't want. What do you mean? The pack. How can that be? What the package is? How can that be unnecessary information? What is happening in the next house is unnecessary information, isn't it? What the package is has to be necessarily known. You follow what I'm saying? So, like, take the concept to expose the package. Okay, what is the idea of the arranged marriage? Every aspect of the package will be exposed. Ella aspect of the package expose ஆச்சு நாங்க affectionே வராது. You cannot the love எல்லாம் வரவே வராது. Thank God that love doesn't come. Yeah, still it is better. Why? Because the package gets, the father will see an angle, the mother will see an angle, the uncle will see an angle, and all of them will give you the right knowledge of what the package is. அதுக்கப்புறம் சாய்ஸ் எடுப்போம். After getting to know what the package is, will you want to make a choice? That's why we say, I just want to turn blind and make a choice. Pratipaksha Bhavana says, you should not do it like that. You need to know the package and then make the choice. Pratipaksha Bhavana is that which tells you what the package is made up of. Once you know the Pratipaksha Bhavana, there is no disappointments. Because you have already no disappointment, because you already know it is there, no? You follow? No disappointments, no sadness at all, no disappointments at all. Where there is no sadness, no disappointment, relationships are fine. Because you know, this is what I know already. This is the technique of Pratipaksha Bhavana in relation to reducing the intensity of the craving. Pratipaksha bhavana is to reduce the intensity of the craving. Once the intensity of the craving is reduced, the next the next level of knowledge will come and teach you that why are you even wanting it when you are Purnam already? When you are Purnam already, why are you even craving for anything when you are Purnam already? That's the glory state. Yeah, that's the glorious state of the human being. You are Purnam already. Not knowing that you are Purnam already, you are craving for all this. Now, this knowledge will not help when you are in excessive. So it means by this constant application of Pratipaksha Bhavana, you develop a kind of objectivity to see everything very clearly, so that there is a certain level of detachment to everything in life. That level of detachment, that inner maturity is required to see it rightly. What is seeing it rightly means? Pratipaksha Bhavana. Are you able to follow? The second level of seeing it rightly is when I am Purnam, why do I have to go and ask for? Why do I have to go and ask for anything? Because is anything going to add up anything to my Purnatvam? Apuryamanam achala pratishtam, Bhagavad Gita. Like a samudra. You understand you are that ocean. When you have understood that you are that ocean, what can any addition? Is there a thing called any addition at all happening? No. You follow? That's how it works. Is it okay?
Yes, I will think about it.
Before she starts thinking, go to the next question. Huh? You don't. Vasanti. What does the word personalization exactly means? Does personalization, ego, individuality all means the same? What does the word personalization exactly means? The word personalization means in your head, you are the most important person in the planet. In your head, you are the most important person in the planet. Non-personalization means you are part in the whole. That is non-personalization. Personalization means you think you are the whole. You are the most important person in this planet. You are the most important person in this planet means what? Everything that happens around you, you have to link it to yourself. Anything and everything, you have to make a self connection. That's called personalization, isn't it? Heavy rain comes, it is there only to disturb you. Sunshine, heat, it is there only to disturb you. Winter comes, it is there only to disturb you. Personalization is you believe that there is a whole lot that is ganged up against you, always constantly working on torturing you. As a personalization. You follow? Personalization. You feel that there is a whole lot of things that is ganged up against you. And the whole lot list la yaarlam varuvanga, who all will be part of the list that is ganged up against you? gods, planets. Gods are hanged up against you. Planets are hanged up against you. Yeah. See, every month one planet is changing, isn't it? Yeah, yeah. சனி பெயர்ச்சின்றான் சப்பாடான்னு முடிச்சா அடுத்த மந்த் குரு பெயர்ச்சின்ற குரு பெயர்ச்சின்னு அடுத்த மாசம் சூரிய சம்திங் இஸ் சேஞ்சிங் ஆல் த டைம். ஸோ யூ வில் திங்க் த planets are against you. God is against you. Boss is against you. Boss is against me, sir. Bossனாலே against இருந்தாதான் boss, isn't it? Yeah, bossனாலே against இருந்தாதான் boss. இல்ல அந்த ஃபாதர் இன் லாவை நான் லல்லபி பாடுறது இல்லையா? யூ கம் at whenever you want, you go whenever you want, whether you come or don't come, salary will be credited. Boss is against me. Sometimes even my children are against me, sir. Yeah. Children are against me. Boss is against, and children is always against. அதுவும் ஒன்னே ஒன்று இருந்தா கேட்கவே வேணாம். We both are on the same boat. We have only one finished. Can't do after that. So what does personalization means? Personalization means personalization means you believe, you assume that everyone is ganged up against you, or somebody is against you all the time. Somebody is against you in the sense of what? Somebody is against you in the sense of wanting to cause pain to you. Vedanta comes and says, அப்படிலாம் யாருமே வேணாம். Yeah. You don't need anybody to come and do all this to you, or you do it to yourself. You keep doing this to yourself. You understand what is personalization? Personalization means anything and everything. Personalization means you cannot end the conversation without talking about it. So obnoxious it is. So யாருக்கும் இன்ட்ரெஸ்டே இல்லை. Who's interested? You follow? What does personalization means? Personalization means you cannot conclude the conversation without talking about you. That is called personalization. It can be called as ego also. It can be called as ego also. But the word personalization is more preferred because it teaches you ego is a more generic word. The word ego you can use for everything and say it's ego. Personalization. What is personalization? Anybody talks anything, you have to connect it to yourself. That is called personalization. Let's give this example. No, if somebody comes and tells you that I am having a headache, you immediately have to say I am having a stomachache. You immediately have to say you need to necessarily bring in, you necessarily has to bring in yourself into that conversation. Why you always have to bring you into the conversation? Because the attention is on you all the time. That is called personal. Self-attention is personalization. You follow? Self-attention is personalization. Personalization means you always feel somebody is watching you. Somebody is there behind you. Somebody is chasing me. Somebody is walking. It gets so hallucinatory. You follow? Personalization becomes so hallucinatory. What is hallucinatory? It looks like, even if the person is, see, everybody is so lost in their thoughts. You understand that, no? See, in this classroom, there are 20 pairs of eyes looking at me. There are 20 pairs of eyes looking at me. Which pair is actually following? Most of the pair is lost. It looks like they are looking, but they are not actually looking because it's gone elsewhere. Personalization means what? I can't even identify, they have gone somewhere and I think they are in a பார்த்துன்னு இருக்காங்க sir. Yeah. They're always focused on me only. If anybody is focused on you like that, go and do some pranams to that person. Yeah, some unselfishness that person is having to focus on you, not literally you, Vasanthi, including you. Yeah, that's why we do pranams to Sri Ram. You know that, no? Sri Ram Gadam pranams we do. I don't know how. So, personalization. Personalization means what now? All the time, excessive self attention. That is called personalization. Because of that, what happens? You lose the ability to receive anything. You lose the capacity to receive anything. Because the moment the moment somebody starts the conversation, personalization, you start thinking in your head parallelly. You are not even listening to the other. Again, I repeat. In personalization, what will happen? You cannot even have a conversation with anybody because even before the other concludes the sentence, in your head, the conversations have started and waiting for that person to stop. The moment the person stops, moment the person stops, you start. And if the person is not stopping, what will happen? You will start. So two people are not conversing at all. Independently, they are talking. That is the God. You understand the human mind. It's so funny to see people saying we had a nice conversation, sir. I said, when did you start having a conversation? You talk independently, the other talks independently, without any connection whatsoever. And both comes back saying we had a very good conversation. Two professors got admitted in an asylum. Professors need not go, they are already in that only, isn't it? So two professors got admitted to an asylum. And nobody could believe they are mad, because when one talks, the other listens. And only when this person finishes, the other starts the conversation. So they thought, why is it that? Why is it that they are mad? Why is it that they are mad? They said, we know the etiquette of a conversation. What? What is the etiquette of a conversation? ஒருத்தர் பேசும்போது இன்னொருத்தர் வாயை மூடணும், அவ்வளவுதான். Not necessarily following or listening, waiting for that person to conclude, and then I start. When I start, it will be unconnected to what? Unconnected. So it means both are talking about two different subjects. Both will talk about two different subjects and both will congratulate each other. And both say, we had a nice conversation. And they thank each other and they get up and leave. One fellow is talking physics, another person is talking chemistry. Connection. You follow what is personalization? Hmm? Personalization means a constant inner conversation centering around yourself. That's personalization. Again, personalization means a constant inner conversation where you are at the center. Most of the human beings have this difficulty. As long as you are doing this, you cannot be charitable or loving or affectionate. You cannot be loving, you cannot be charitable, you cannot be affectionate because the thinking is about yourself all the time. அதனால தான் புரிஞ்சுதா 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 we have to keep asking, no? இவ்வளோ வாட்டி தான் கேட்கறது புரிஞ்சுதா, and everybody says yes, 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 and nothing is understood also. This is personalization. This is called personalization. Lastly, personalization means how you know everybody has a story about themselves in their head. Everybody. Personalization la and the story la yaar hero? That's personalization. In the story that you create in your head, you will be the hero. அதை ரீப்ளேஸ் பண்ண முடிஞ்சதுன்னா you have stopped personalizing. There is no ego. The ego is diluted. We're able to follow? Personalization means I have a story in my head about I have a story. எல்லாருக்கும் ஒரு செல்ஃப் ஸ்டோரி இருக்கும். இந்த செல்ஃப் ஸ்டோரியில யார் ஹீரோ? Individually. This is called personalization. You follow? Personalization, ego, individuality, all this can be synonymously used also. In some context, it can be used very synonymously. All can mean the same also. In some context, you can say sense of individuality is very strong. You can say sense of ego is very, very strong. You can say sense of personalization is very, very strong. Personalization means you go to somebody's house, purple color paint on the wall. Purple color paint. What is personalization? It is not color. I'm so color blind, I can't see. What is this color here? Blue, blue. I get very confused with colors. And I sit and appreciate painting and explain the painting also. Crackpots, I think. You follow? Purple color. What is personalization? What is personalization? You'll walk into the house and say, I don't like it. Who asked you? Isn't it? Who asked you? Whether you like it, and it is their house, they painted. What is your that this is called so even there, I'm not able to accept that the other can have their own choice. I cannot accept that. Wherever I go, it has to be. It can be as simple as that. It can be as Simpler. It stems from a deep personalization. Your likes and dislikes, your preferences, your ideologies, your opinions is the most important is personalization. This is the definition of personalization. Your opinions, your ideas and ideologies, your preferences, your likes and dislikes alone matters. To who? To who? To everybody around me. To everybody around me, this alone should matter, another personalization. Are you able to understand now? Supposing if it is only to me, nana gamnu irundiruven, isn't it? No problem. Supposing I say, okay, yeah, I don't like purple color. Ennikada na oru naalukku veedu kattna, someday in my life, if I have the opportunity of building my house, I will not paint purple color. Avladhaan. Where is the problem there? Somebody's house, they are painting. They paint. Yeah. ஒரே சமயத்துல 10 கலர் பெயிண்ட் கூட அடிக்கட்டுமே. Why does it? No, sir, but aesthetically, sir, and we have enough words in our vocabulary to justify our personalizations. We have enough vocabulary in our personalization means a constant criticism. Critical mind is personalization. You follow? A constant critical mind is personalization. You understand the absurdity of it, you will drop it. You understand the absurdity of it, you will be able to drop the personalization. You follow? Is it okay? Yeah. Read the topic, attachment.
Attachment. Another deadly quality of the mind is its attachment to the objects and beings of the world. Early in life, the child is attached to its playthings, its toys and trinkets, and it develops possessiveness towards them. The child is excited when it receives a new toy and sad when it loses one. The child grows up to a young person. The youth's mind then craves for wealth, name, fame, a partner, etc. He desires and acquires the objects of his passion and develops possessiveness towards them. His mind tosses him high and low, suffers from mental agitation and sorrow. As he advances in age, the old person is possessed with worry and anxiety. His mind remains disturbed all the time. Thus, the entire life of a human being is burdened with the mind's attachment and possessiveness, causing sorrow and suffering. Attachment, therefore, is a pernicious passion, destroying the peace and harmony of the young and old. Attachment is actually a pollution of love. When love is vitiated by self-centeredness, selfishness, it turns into attachment. And when attachment is free from self-centered motives, it is love. Attachment minus selfishness is equal to love. Love plus selfishness is equal to attachment. The world today is infested with attachment which passes off as love. A boy meets a girl and develops an attachment for her. He marries her and begets children. He then becomes attached to the family. He purchases a house and is attached to it. He starts a business and becomes attached to it. He earns money and is attached to it. Some, tired of material pursuits, seek spiritual solace. They become attached to their religion and spiritual masters. The mind thus binds itself to anything it contacts. The bondage produces sorrow and misery. It devastates the human race. To avoid this self inflicted damage, you must develop and use your intellect to protect, preserve your love. You must ensure your love does not turn sour with self centered motives. Love produces peace and harmony, whereas attachment causes distress and disharmony. When a person develops attachment to another or an object, he is bound to go through pain and suffering. It does not end there. He becomes estranged to that person, to that object of attachment. Sooner or later, he would lose the relationship. The loved one would desert him, even perish, and leave the lover shattered and distressed. It is the law of nature. There are 3 long English poems illustrating this law. They highlight the tragic loss of relationship when one is attached to the other. It even ends with death. Laudemia by William Wordsworth portrays a woman's attachment to man. Laudemia was a princess passionately attached to her husband Protesilaus, the Greek prince. Her terrible attachment resulted in the loss of their relationship and the premature death of her husband. The second poem, Andrea del Sarto by Robert Browning, shows how a husband's infatuation for the wife destroys their relationship. Andrea del Sarto was one of the greatest European painters, surpassing celebrities like Raphael and others. But his deadly attachment to his wife, Lucretia, ruined his great talent and work. He ultimately lost Lucretia in their marital relationship. The third poem, Shorab and Rustam by Matthew Arnold, is an outstanding portrayal of attachment between father and son. Rustam, the father, had a sickening obsession for his son, Shorab. So had the son for his father. Their obsession resulted in their separation and ultimately death of the son in the prime of youth. Study the exhaustive analysis of devastating nature of the mind set out above. It illustrates how your mind wreaks havoc, how your personality is destroyed by one or more of the mind's corrosive phases. Your likes and dislikes can drive you up to precipice and bring about a fall. Or your worries and anxieties drain your energy and leave you exhausted, miserable. Or your mind's uncontrolled desires and attachment, acquisition and enjoyment ruin you. Therefore, you must develop your intellect to play its vital role in controlling and directing your mind's activity.
The mind binds itself to anything it contacts. This bondage produces misery and sorrow. So, attachment is another deadly quality of the mind where anything it contacts, it gets attached. Obviously, contact here within brackets, unintelligent, not thoughtful. That is implied here. Any unintelligent association will result in attachment. That very attachment is the cause for the relationship to end. Love nourishes and flourishes the relationship. Attachment destroys it. Or work backwards. Wherever the relationship has ended, destroyed, it is because of attachment. Because the nature of love is nourishing. The nature of attachment is to destroy. The nature of love is to nourish. But we always misunderstand attachment as love. Therefore, because of this misunderstanding of attachment as love, we go on entertaining that which is destructive. What is attachment? Attachment is a pollution of love. Attachment is, first definition, attachment is self-love. You love yourself so much. You are in love with yourself. And whoever agrees to that, you say, whoever is in agreement with you are in love with yourself, somebody comes and says, you are in love with yourself, you cannot go on doing this to yourself, no? Correct? When you are in love with yourself, isn't it? You cannot hold hands and sit. You cannot go and do this to, isn't it? So what happens? I use the other to do that. That is called attachment. So what is attachment? Self-love. Self-love means you love yourself. But you cannot do you cannot do this to yourself. Supposing if you can do this to yourself, thank God, attachment at least the other will be saved from you. Isn't it? Because it is not possible for a human being to do that, we necessarily go and catch hold of somebody. We necessarily catch hold of somebody, beg that person to do it, torture the person to do it, threaten the person to do it. All this is called attachment. All this is called attachment. By law, it has to be devastating only. By law, it has to be devastating only. Why by law it is devastating? Why it will be devastating and the relationship will necessarily end? Why? Why it necessarily end up in the relationship getting destroyed? Hmm? Both torture each other. Both gives torture to each other. Now, how long can two people torturing each other can stay together? How long can they stay? They say, you go your way, I go my way. Yeah. English divorce என்றதை விட the Tamil word for that is much better. Yeah. What is the Tamil word for that? Hmm? விடுதலை பத்திரம், sir. It is called certificate of freedom. You know that? விடுதலை பத்திரம். விடுதலை means freedom. Freedom from bond. Now, poor thing. Not it, the other is not responsible at all for this. Who's responsible? Either both are responsible or nobody is responsible. Either one is responsible, other is victim. Therefore, what does attachment means? Self-love. Begging the other to Because I am not able to do it to myself, I beg the other to do it. I torture the other to do it. I threaten the other to do it. I negotiate with the other to do it. ஸோ என்னெல்லாம் நடக்கும் அட்டாச்மெண்ட்ல? நல்லாமோ சொன்னேன். என்ன சொன்னேன்? First you will beg, then you will threaten, then you will torture, then you will negotiate. ஒரு டெக்னிக் ஒரு நாளைக்கு வேலை செய்யும். One technique will work one day, and that day they'll say we reconciled. No reconciliation alone. That day the technique, after a period of time, none of the techniques work because suffocation has reached the highest point. It is because of what? Because of attachment. It's because of attachment. Therefore, he says, you become estranged to that person. You become estranged, isn't it? One who exchanged flowers are the ones who throw dirt at each other, no? Why? The one who exchanged garlands are the ones who's throwing dirt at each other. Why? Attachment. Anything that you associate with, you get attached. बालस्तावत् क्रीडासक्तः, तरुणस्तावत् तरुणीसक्तः, वृद्धस्तावत् चिन्तासक्तः, परमे ब्रह्मणि कोऽपि न सक्तः. बालस्तावत् क्रीडासक्तः, भजगोविन्द. तरुणस्तावत् तरुणीसक्तः. When you are a child, it looks perfectly legitimate to get attached to the toys. Correct, sir. Pavan, sir. No. Tarunastavat Tarunisaktaha. Youth, sir, passion, age. What else the fellow can do? Vriddhastavat Chintasaktaha. Old age in no worry, isn't it? Old age in worry. World is going to come to an end soon. That's old age, isn't it? Old age in Artham. How do you know that you have become old? How do you know that you have become old? World will end very soon. The whole thing is going to get destroyed very soon if you are convinced now you have become old enough. Dharma is not there, this is not there, that is not there, children are not respecting, that there's not, this is so what will happen to world now? Adha vriddhastavat chintasakta parame brahmani kopi na sakta. Nobody has any time for the reality. Why? Attachment. So what is attachment now? Anything that you contact, you get attached. So from birth to death, the mind is so preoccupied with some attachment. It is the toys at one stage, the passions at another stage, the wealth at another stage, the family at another stage. Ellam utta God at another stage. Adum utta or guru. Avladhan. And that man is the disaster of your life. Yeah, the guru is the disaster. அதுக்கு மேல ஒண்ணுமே கிடையாது. புனரப்பி ஜனனம், புனரப்பி மரணம். Again start. This cycle continues. Balastavat kridasakta, tarunastavat tarunisaktah, vruddhastavat chintasaktah. No time for Brahman. Start again. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam. Punarapi janani, jatareshayanam. Iha samsare, bahudustare. Oh, Murari, enna kaapathidu pandறாரு. I don't know about others and all. At least save me. அவ்வளவுதான் முடியும். You can only save yourself. What is attachment means? The mind's preoccupation with something is attachment. Preoccupation with something. And at different stages in life, the mind will be preoccupied with something or the other. And attachment means a legitimacy to that preoccupation. That's attachment. You feel so convinced that it is right? You feel so convinced that it is legitimate. அதுக்கு பேர் தான் attachment. Study this devastating nature. Study this devastating nature. 3 poems. We are not studying those poems. Only the references are given. Lidomia, Andrea Del Sarto, and Shoraban. Lidomia, Jehovah frowned, he says. Jehovah na God, the supreme God. Jehovah frowned at Lidomia. Oh, half an hour, isn't it? ஊருக்கு போனா அட்லீஸ்ட் ஸ்டேஷன் வரைக்கும், அட்லீஸ்ட் பிளாட்ஃபார்ம் விட்டா come into the train also, isn't it? Why? This is called, this is attachment. This is attachment. That Jehovah frowns, he says. Jehovah frowns. God frowns at this because it's obnoxious. Yeah, it's obnoxious, isn't it? Andrea Del Sarto. Oh God, that man's obsession is, if Lidomia is disgusting now, Andrea Del Sarto is peak. Sit with me for 5 more minutes, no? Sit with me for 5 more minutes, no? I can hear your boyfriend whistling. He's saying that. I can hear your boyfriend whistling and calling you. Sit with me for 5 minutes and go, no? God, what an obsession. Shoraban Rustu. A very weird obsession that is. A very weird obsession of father and son. A very weird obsession. You follow? Doesn't matter whatever be it, it ends in misery. It ends in disaster. This is attachment. With this, we conclude chapter 4. We'll continue with chapter 5 after a few weeks. Whenever we are resuming, we'll post it. So for the next few weeks, we will not be meeting.